Hello, folks. Welcome back. And today we are ready to kick it off with yet another game. We got an exciting match between Scaling Copium versus Fat Pikachu. I have been rooting for Fat Pikachu this whole season. I want them to pick up a win. I know they've got it in them, and it hurts me every time to see them do so well in the early game and then just have something happen right around that 15-minute mark. It's just like, oh no.
Yeah, Doyan's not playing today. That's interesting.
This is true.
Apparently if Fat Pikachu wins the rest of their games, and if BBZ loses the rest of their games, they're in playoffs.
Well, they're already on the way.
Yeah, one team did their part. It's Fat Pikachu's turn.
Well, exactly. So it'll be exciting to see. That is kind of an interesting thing to hear. So, playoff dreams still alive. Could be seeing the comeback kings coming out here. And as we see right there, you got that Maokai ban, which I'm sure you're happy about.
Yeah. Sorry, I was eating some pizza. Yeah, Maokai, it's good to see, it's good to see him off the board. I think it's a strong ban. Caitlyn from Warplaque is really strong as well. I think Warplaque's really good to carry. Azir's open for Street Smurf. I think they're probably going to go with an Azir comp. Ew. Gross.
You don't like the Yuumi?
I mean, I like Yuumi, but
it's
guys,
just
come
not
on.
It's the cat, but not the electric rat. So it's like, I feel like they got to pick Kennen just because they already picked the cat on the other side. So you got to have the electric rat take down the cat. I know we won't see it.
Yuumi is just a little bit of a gross champion, in my opinion. I definitely think it's going to look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Sona into it.
Yeah, it's one of those champions that it does turn the bot lane into a 2v1, essentially. However, come mid-late game, you are just going to be so frustrated with how much healing, how many shields, and how much CC that cat can put out. And it does allow Frozen Aegis to actually focus a lot on kind of map awareness and be able to point out, hey, this person went missing in their lane. It does so like early on, it can provide you a great shot caller to kind of like give information across the board.
I think it's broken. I think it's the most broken champion in the game. Yuumi needs to be nerfed. Luden's Yuumi's gross. Sivir Yuumi is something that's been having a lot of success in the Worlds meta, to the point that I think it's won 100% of the games it's been played in.
And we'll have to see if that actually happens here.
And so every time NA plays against it, they have died to Sivir at level 1. So let's see if Sivir can get 2 kills at level 1. If so, that's going to be a pretty good case for them. I like Zac. I think Zac's pretty strong. Sivir is kind of immobile, right? She's going to be speedy this game, but Zac's a strong champion. I think
she's going to be super speedy this game.
Yeah,
she'll be speedy on her own, speedy with the Yuumi, and then you add that the Vi in there as well. That's also another speedy champ. Another champ that you don't want to see being speedy.
I'd like to... What do you want to see mid lane this game?
Out of Scaling Copium, I need to see something that's a little bit more beefy. I need to see a beefy mid laner. So I would love to see, honestly, a Swain would actually not be a bad choice because the drain tanks always do a great job. And then with the fact that you have to worry about a Zac, you need something to be able to function as a front line in addition to your top lane to help protect your carries. So I would like to see something of that nature. Although, based on solo queue experience, Scaling Copium is going to pull out a Talon because the more damage you see, the more assassins you see in the mid lane.
Yeah, we should get a Vayne top too then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Full AD. Just full AD, full squishies. Don't worry about anything else. For the side of Fat Pikachu, I want to see them come out with something that's a little bit more of a powerhouse, something that's going to just blast away the mid laner. So I'd like to see something along the lines of a probably a Lissandra, honestly. Like, I know I just said blast them away, and that's not exactly a Lissandra calling card, but I'd like to see something to be able to follow up on the Zac engage, and I think a Lissandra would be really good at doing that. And then the ability to Glacial Prison a target, or Frozen Tomb a target, you can easily lock down Scaling Copium.
So Orianna's disabled right now, right? Mm-hmm. Sundubu is, to an extent, an Orianna one-trick. Their most played champion is Orianna by a very wide margin. Their second most played is Azir, and it's not super successful in solo queue. It'll be interesting to see if it changes a bit in the fives environment. And there's that Swain you wanted, so that'll be interesting.
Yep, exactly. So like I said, the drain tank, the damage that you've got right there, plus it goes with the theming of red on the side of Scaling Copium. It just kind of fits. And I like the progression of from bright yellow to dark red. So I expect to see an Aatrox or Darius down on the bottom side choice. Like that actually fits perfectly. You've got the nice color gradient on the side of Scaling Copium that I really enjoy. It's a mix mash of blue and green and yellow on the side of Fat Pikachu.
Pantheon top. Okay.
Yeah, and a Pantheon top. I am not particularly a fan of this choice, mostly because of the fact that I feel like with the Pantheon, you're going to be diving in on the back line. Yes, you're going to be hitting those targets that you want, but it's going to be so squishy that when the Swain and when the Darius start dealing damage to it because it's been knocked up in the air and pushed back by the Vi and rooted by the Yumi, it will be able to do absolutely nothing as it gets completely shredded away.
Yeah, I think it's kind of grief. You have one tank, right, at this point? I mean, Pantheon's not like the squishiest thing on earth, but he's not exactly going to be the bruiser. I think Sejuani would have been good. I don't know. Really anything with, like, just that isn't a light health bruiser to help out with your Azir, Jinx, and Sona from getting ran down by Swain, Darius with a Yumi on top of them. I mean, if Pantheon gets far enough ahead, it might cause an issue for a while, but they're going to have to effectively close the game out for it to matter.
Exactly. I think that at this point, Fat Pikachu needs a 30-minute game, a sub 30-minute game, in order to win this, because otherwise Scaling Copium is going to come online and they're going to do exactly what their name implies, and they're going to YOLO it and absolutely destroy Fat Pikachu. I'm being told we're waiting on a little bit of a pause before we hop onto the Rift for this one. So in the meantime, what are you thinking about these, just kind of the way things are shaping up today, how things have been progressing?
The first game was rough to watch. It was interesting, right? But man, there was some throws. This game, I think Scaling Copium just hard won draft. I don't like Fat Pikachu's draft, and I think without Doyan in, they might lose faster than they usually do, which is going to be surprising. No hate to the rest of the team, but I'd say individually in each of their roles, they're a little bit outclassed at the moment.
Scaling Copium is a very, very difficult team to deal with, just as a general rule. They've got a lot of really powerful players. Warplaque and Street Smurf in particular are just kind of those two that just immediately, as soon as you see them, it's going to be a bit of a headache dealing with it. And then I really feel like overall, like you said, they hard won draft here. So I think another good option is to just hop on over to the FOFesports.com website, go over to the Connect, and just kind of pop it open, take a look. It's got a nice bit of read, got some fun articles, good little bit of extra content that we like to put out completely for free. Like, it's because we do this for the love of the doing it.
Yeah, it's a good magazine. It mentions the heroic playoffs, which are coming up this week as well. There is RLS versus PTP, and then there's Wash versus Team A Thursday and Friday.
This is true. Yeah, those are going to be starting our, I believe they're best of fives.
Correct. Those are the best of fives.
So that'll be exciting to see how those formats end up playing out, because you always get the nice bit of back and forth. We won't let this particular champ through first round. They were able to beat them there, so we can let it through second round because we've got a secret strat to beat it. A little bit more mind gaming you can do in those best of fives, and you don't have to just kind of like bring your A game immediately. You got to bring your A game every game, but you don't have to bring your A plus game.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting because you can tell which teams work on comps, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you'll see, little throwback to last split, Team Wash did not practice whatsoever. We thought we would just 3-0 RLS, and they pulled out like Senatom Kent Shen, and that was gross, and we got tilted and we lost. And they'd never played those champions before in the season. So practice is good, everybody. Practice if you want to win.
Yep. It's essentially it. That's basically the name of the game. And of those two games, is there anyone in particular that kind of like jumps out at you that you're excited for?
Well, I'm playing in one of them, so I'm pretty excited. But I think that the PTP RLS one will be pretty interesting. I think RLS should 3-0, but if they don't ban properly, they could probably make it a difficult series.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oz is probably our closest matchup for Wash, to be honest. So that'll be a good game. I like those guys. But we're into this game, so let's see how this goes.
Yep. Already got the 5-man Death Bush ready and waiting for someone to step up in the absolute wrong direction. We got the best Sona skin on Blackpink Trash over there, really channeling the KDA kind of skin line in a sense. I mean, that is the original inspiration for it right there. Seraphine stealing all of the Sona skins.
Yeah, Seraphine is just Sona 2.0, right? I think that's what Reddit said when she came out.
It's so frustrating. So frustrating. I've said it many times and I'll continue to say it. Stealing the rework.
You know, I'm a big Seraphine fan, only because that champion's really easy to play, and it feels really good to have a Seraphine on your team.
It's so easy to play. I cannot stand it. It's very frustrating. The first game I played on it, I got an S+. I was like, what is this? Why?
Yeah.
Why is this easy?
Yeah, Pure Llama's a Seraphine one trick, actually. So if you ban that, games are harder.
Mm-hmm. Very, very true. And the voice comms when that happens are hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's see. So there's junglers are starting opposite sides. Interesting. There's a world where Pantheon dies at level 3.
There's a world where Pantheon dies at level 2.
Yeah,
I think Darius could easily level 2 this Pantheon.
I think it depends. So Stormbless is a Pantheon main. I found out a second ago. He has Ignite. I'm sure he knows the Darius matchup an okay amount. I personally don't play top lane. I think it is a role that is devoid of fun. But, you know, those top laners are going to beat each other up, and someone's going to get a kill regardless, I think.
Yep. You know, you were talking about getting an early level 1 double kill onto Sivir. It looks like that might actually be about to happen. Warplax brought very low, but look at the damage they did during all of that. And Stormbless may be a Pantheon one trick. I am very upset with where the champion is right now. Like, it's nothing to do with the player. It's everything to do with the champion. I just feel like it does not have the identity that it should. I do not like it as an assassin. It's just kind of one of those things where I've always been bothered by that. Renee getting brought really, really low by the Yuumi auto attacks.
Yeah, Jinx should definitely have a little more. Jinx Sona should have a little more prio in this lane than they currently do. They have significantly longer range with the rockets and Sona poke. I know that Yuumi has a lot of sustain and Sivir has some good trade back, but if the Q's down, you can harass pretty well. So I'm surprised to see they're being shoved in right now. And the health potions are already gone for Blackpink, so health's going to be in the favor of Sivir.
Ooh, Street Smurf feeling the wrath of the Azir, taking a lot of damage from those Sand Soldiers.
Yeah, I think Azir should probably win this pretty hard early.
Easy.
But transitioning to team fights will be interesting, just because Street Smurf's a pretty good player, and he knows Azir very well.
Ooh, and here is the problem with Sundubu, overstepping and walking straight into the enemy ADC in a now 3-man gank, which is not something you really expect to see at 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah, you don't want to get 4-manned by bot lane on Azir 3 minutes. That's obnoxious. That's just one of those things where you start spam pinging your bot lanes. Like, are you serious? Oh man,
that was an interesting pathing choice. Warplack did not see he may have seen the Sona and the Jinx stepping up, and so that was why they stepped back off of there. They did not see Warplack though. They were unaware that Zach was waiting for them to walk around the corner.
Yeah, you know, that was a really good play out of Street Smurf. Caught Azir. I think Azir probably should have just tried to flash it. I really don't think he expected bot lane to be there, so it's understandable why he didn't flash. But
yeah, he walked straight into that bottom bush thinking it was safe, did not realize that bot lane had rotated up.
That was a really good roam from bot. You know, you don't really expect that out of a Sivir Yuumi in the first few minutes, but it's really good.
It's something you should expect out of YOLO, though. They're just going to do a lot of work early. They know exactly how to play their rotations. This is where you start to see, again, one thing that's really interesting about FOF, the fact that it's a 5-man league where we actually promote 5-man competition. And look at the Stormblast getting brought exceptional low. There we go. The level 5 death of the Pantheon. So begins the reign of King Darius.
Yeah, that's not good. You know, when your top laner takes Ignite, you want him to probably not get solo killed by the ghost top laner. At least that's how I feel usually. That's not good. That is going to be... I think the lane's just over at this point. Like,
it is going to be very, very rough across the board. Going into this now, Stormbless is going to have to try to get these favorable trades, get the favorable farm. Unfortunately, walking up to farm in the Darius range is going to be really, really dangerous. Sundubu doing a decent job. I love the power fantasy of Azir. Like, there's just something about being able to command other things to kill your opponent while you're half the screen away and just do so much damage.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about junglers. You just tell them what to do, right? They're like, you know, if you play AD carry or mid lane, you can tell your jungler to go somewhere, and they're kind of like your own little sand soldier.
And if they don't do what you're telling them to do, you just blame them, and you'd be like, why? Why have you not listening to me?
Yeah, then you just ping them and say jungle gap, because it's always jungle gap.
Well, it actually is your fault, because you do not have enough gym badges to control your jungle.
Game is always jungle gap, no matter what. AD carry can have 18 kills, that's a jungle gap. Everybody remember that. Make sure you type it in every game. It's how you win. Oh,
and now
Ghost
Smoke
coming
Swag
out.
begins the death knell that is the Storm Bless's health bar as we just see it start descending. Oh, huge use of the shield. Well done, Storm Bless, but it's not going to manage the flush. Oh, that is just devastating. Like I said, Darius now controls the top lane. There's nothing you can do to stop him.
That was a pretty clean flash out of Stormblood or Smoke Swag. Wow. I knew that Stormblast had the E up for the ultimate, and I thought that was just going to be the end of it, but that was a really, really good flash Q.
Absolutely. That's just a beautiful, beautiful play, and that is just something you love to see out of your Darius champions. Like, it's just the Darius players, you need to be seeing them pull off stunts like that, especially. Ooh, unfortunately, Kenny Train jumping right on top of this Warplack. Warplack dropping the spell shield, trying to get away, is able to do so. That was almost very bad. They did not realize they were sitting on a ward, and so that could have turned out very gross if they were not clicking on the fingers there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the point of sitting there in the first place is. I mean, I guess you want to try to get behind Jinx and Sona, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter that much, right? Like, you don't gain anything by doing that. They know where Zac is, I guess. That was a good Zac gank. They got Flash out, but Zac's down a lot of CS. And he's going to have to probably repeat gank bot lane, which is going to be awkward because Yuumi still has Ignite and Exhaust, but I think that's the, like, top's doomed. You can't go top. You're going to die if you go top. Mid might be okay, but Swain's pretty strong, and Azir doesn't have the most burst damage early. I think bot's what you have to look at pretty much. So
one thing I love about this Vi pick here is Vi has such a great jungle clear. Like, it is just so quick. You're able to just burst through these camps insanely fast. So you're able to counter jungle very, very well whenever you're able to get the priority. And now we've got Sundubu right here getting caught out once again with a huge Azir. Great Emperor's Divide throwing Street Smurf underneath the tower. However, it's not going to quite be enough. Kenny Train knew that they would be running into Bloom on the top lane as they were going for their Krugs, trying to just get some of the gold as they can out of that. They do manage to get a decent amount with that fight there. Pantheon, however, was not quick enough on the rotate to end up getting the kill.
Yeah, this bot lane's playing so weirdly. Like, you lose a plate, maybe? You get flash, right? That's good, but you're giving CS, like, you lost health.
Are you talking about the Warplack?
Yeah, Warplack's just... It's odd. Like,
no. It's not odd. It's asserting dominance by showing up everywhere.
But you're just losing CS in a tower plate. I mean, they got a kill, but that second roam, they get a flash. I don't know if the flash is worth it necessarily.
Scaling Copium isn't worried about that. They're scaling Copium. They scale.
They should CS if they want to scale. I don't know. Whatever.
No. It's all about the farming champions. All about the farming champions. Real farm doesn't matter.
That's right. We went over that. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Never mind. Warplack took our advice. CS is a crutch for bad players, so he's just gonna go farm minion or champions mid lane.
Exactly.
Azir's pretty vulnerable to Vi. Vi unfortunately had to blow her flash on Krugs, but Azir's flashless and won't have ult for like 20 more seconds. If Vi goes Gromp to mid, I think they can probably just dive.
They'll probably be looking for that dive here. I don't expect too much to actually come out of it, though, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting to see how exactly that plays out. Kenny, Stormblessed now down 2 deaths, is really in a bad spot in this top lane. As we can see that the Trinity Force is already almost built on this Darius. He's got at least 4 lanes, or 4 waves lead, I believe, if I'm doing mathematics in my head right. Could be very, very wrong on that.
You're right, so, about 4.
Ooh, the Shurima shuffle misses, and unfortunately the Stormblessed coming in does not connect with the Swain. That would have been very good for Fat Pikachu. Great call in theory, not in the execution.
Yeah, you know, that's... I don't see the Azir comfort, to be honest. It seems like maybe a little bit rusty on the Azir mechanics. Fat Pikachu did pick up the Wind Dragon, but they lose their entire top tower. Honestly, I think you should leave it up and just like farm Pantheon more. Maybe drop it mid, free Swain up. So now Pantheon's going to have a safer lane to kind of farm in. I don't think it matters too much, but again, if you're in top lane, right, you're pretty happy as Darius being up 40 CS and 2 kills. And now you have a very long lane. Yeah, and 2 levels. Now you have a very long lane to deal with. And Zac can always show up.
Well, now you just rotate and you send Sivir to the mid lane or the top lane. Just let them deal with that there, and you let your later scaling champions just take the longer lane. But yeah, no, I can see what you mean. And that is kind of one of those interesting things. It's a theory of which tower do you take first? Because I've heard some say, no, you leave mid tower up because it's the shortest lane. So you take the top towers or the bot tower in order to kind of be able to push that and create a sort of pressure point. Or like you just said, you can free up mid tower, which frees up your mid lane or lets them start roaming.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if it matters too much or not. Darius might be strong enough to just kill 2 people. But he's going bot. Looks like they're going to 5-man, 4-man bot. And I think they pulled off pretty well. It depends on if Renee hits a good ult or not.
Okay, so we got the Shreema Shuffle happening once again. A great one there as they do manage to push Street Smurf under the tower. However, they only managed to catch 2, and that is a good flash out of Soda. Unfortunately, the double ultimates from Vi and Yuumi mean that they're going to be caught, not able to get away. Now we got the Jinx trying to get some damage and to be able to get revenge for their Sona, but they're not going to be able to do it. Smoke Swag just a little bit too far to get the Gromp, and now stealing it from their jungler, and we got a bit of a fight over the jungle farm. The Smite taking it for Balloon 21.
Yeah, you know, that's the jungler's Gromp. Darius, get out of here. You're 2-0. You already have all the gold you need. You didn't do anything. You showed up late. No Gromp. That was a really good dive. Renee burnt flash and ult. Got nothing out of it. And they got a kill. And they get like a ton of plates. Pretty good pressure. Pantheon's free farming, but it doesn't matter too much. And
Azir, you got Yuumi sitting on the Darius.
Yeah. Yuumi Darius is gross. That's going to be not too much fun when Darius has Ghost up.
Yep, when Darius, and then you're gonna.
Oh, don't do
not
this.
even a Smoke Swag going into this. Got the exhaust coming out onto the Jinx. Jinx getting caught up. The Decimate is exactly what's happening to these health bars. As we see Smoke Swag just doing so much damage, trying to find Blackpink, doesn't manage to get to the connection. However, we got the Blue 21 with the Flash Vi Assault and Battery coming out. Huge amount of damage right there, although I believe the item's name was changed to something else, Concussive Blows, doing all of that work there, and that is going to be the bot tower gone, and now just the mid one remains, so you've got the reverse triangle. Street Smurf going to be taking a lot of damage, and Stormblast is looking for the kill. They are not able to find it, though, but Swain is kind of sitting in a very awkward spot as they take a spear to the face.
Hello? Alright, well, Street Smurf, dude, come on. Like,
yeah, that was disrespect.
Come on, man. That was dumb. All right, that was the silliest thing you've done in your entire life. But on the other hand, you have Darius and Yuumi just proxying 3 people bot side. So that was interesting. Darius is pretty out of control, and they don't really have a good way to deal with him when Sona ult's not up. Azir's shuffle isn't really getting... I mean, you know, you hit the shuffle, right? But Swain just kind of walked away. They're going to have to shut Darius down, and they're going to have to funnel their gold into Jinx and Azir and really hope that they start popping off soon because they're bleeding gold pretty heavily at the moment.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're already looking at a pretty decent gold lead, about 6K. It's just going to keep on ballooning at this point. YOLOing this game, Skyline Copium is just doing a fantastic job controlling everything. There's very little that Fat Pikachu is actually able to do. And now we're going to see a dive here in the mid lane. Street Smurf is going to be walking up just a little bit, but I believe they're sitting on a ward where he's at least just aware that they're there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to 5-man do something towards Dragon. I don't know if they can really contest it. Maybe just try to go for the opposite objective. Herald and Dragon are spawning at about the same time, and just try to get one or the other, because you're not going to win a team fight right now unless something terrible happens, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's just going to be really, really rough. And unfortunately, Warplaque is going to get caught out by the Zac. Zac is going to be jumping on top of that Sivir. We have the Jinx trying to steal the blue buff with the ultimate. Does not manage to actually do that. So that's going to be a little bit of a wasted ult. Either that or they were trying to hit the Sivir in the mid lane. And
I think they were just trying to steal the blue buff for some reason. You know, I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but... That was a little, you know, it wasn't going to work.
It was a little sus, I feel like that they probably should have saved it to try and steal Drake, but
yeah,
such is the way of things.
And they're rotating over to Herald. I think they're just going to try to trade Herald, and they can do that pretty well.
Smart play for the side of Fat Pikachu. Trading objectives, it is something that they'd want to do. They're a little late to getting Pantheon to join them on there, but I think they'll be able to have enough time to take that. Picking up the Herald will be really, really nice, though they probably want to wait just a little bit for the bounties to come up before dropping.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that YOLO probably should have just ran to Herald. They're strong enough. They have enough time. It took a while for it to die. It's it's not too bad though. They're getting a ton of pressure bot lane. So I guess Fat Pikachu did the best that they could there, right? Like the only thing you can do is get Herald. You get your wave pushed a little bit, but you're getting shoved in 3 lanes now, and nobody can answer the Darius, and you just lose to your 2 bot.
Yep, and they're about to lose that tier 2
about to die.
Sivir might be about to die just because of the ego gap being too much. Warplaque, that does not give you mana anymore. You only get health back. They're trying to get out of this, running under the tower, looking for anything, just delaying things as long as possible. They do pop the so they're able to get speedy. They might be able to get away. We got Bloon 21 waiting in the wings, looking for the engage, finds the Zac, avoids the Pantheon right there. Then the huge Jigsaw from across the map means that the health bar of the Sivir is gone, and that means that Rene and the rest of the members of Fat Pikachu are now going to try and take down Blue 21, but look at the damage coming out from those concussive blows. There's so much going on right there. There's so much you can do. They're trying to do what they can.
What is happening?
The Darius is in the base, just destroying it. Yuumi might be the one to pick up the kill on the Azir. No, the Birdman is going to take down the cat. Oh,
man, that was aggressive.
It's not over yet. Street Smart's getting chased. He's got no mana, though, so he can't really do too much. Kenny Train missing the drop means that Street Smurf's just going to keep on walking. Does finally get hit by the sticky arms, is pulled back in, and that is going to be a kill given over as we start to see the ego gap show up between YOLO and Fat Pikachu.
Yeah, that was, like, aggressively dumb. Warplaque was really far up, and Warplaque honestly played that very, very well. Despite, okay, well, don't...
That turret is trolling.
Yeah, the turret's trolling. Warplaque had a really good cleanse and like kind of kited back pretty well. Vi came up and started fighting. Fortunately for Fat Pikachu, the rest of their team showed up first, and then YOLO kind of just individually funneled themselves into 5 people. Swain came up with no mana, died. Darius died at the Nexus Tower for some reason. Like, there's no reason to do that. So it's really good for Fat Pikachu.
No. Again, it's asserting dominance. That is what the whole nature of the game is for YOLO right now. They're like, we are going to win this, and we will win this by just running you down.
It's something for sure. Oh, wait.
Shurima Shuffle misses. Smoke Swag able to avoid getting caught out. That huge flash is able to keep them alive, avoiding getting pushed under that tower. Very well played by them.
Yeah, that was... Darius is strong right now. Everybody.
That flash was beautiful. That was a beautiful flash.
Yeah, that was a really good flash. And they're just gonna push down mid tower. Looks like. I think Azir can hold it pretty well.
Yep. When he takes that much damage from one bouncing blade on the Sivir.
I think that was Yuumi. I think Yuumi hit him.
Could have been, but unfortunately Warplaque right there is not able to save his Darius as the king just goes in a little too deep. Kenny Train looking for that engage, jumps onto Warplaque. Warplaque drops the spell shield, gets bounced up though. That's going to be burst down as we see Stormbless go on a rampage. Kenny Train is stuck under tower, does not have passive. Now Stormbless is the one taking tower shots. We have the Vi ready to just jump on this. This is where you see the assassin power come out. If Stormbless, you are silly, my friend. You are the one who's now having the ego gap, as he gets jumped on and immediately deleted.
Man, YOLO's playing with their brains off a little bit, definitely, but like Fat Pikachu's countering them by turning their brains off sometimes.
You know, it really sucks seeing Sundubu pulling off these moves with the Azir and just kind of like styling in this game while it is just slipping out of their fingers.
Yeah, I think the kills are on... Sundubu's playing really well. 2-1 and 2, 152 CS to 158. Not too far down. Jinx is even in CS. So you're scaling okay where you need to. Pantheon's picked up a few kills. Darius has kind of... he still has a 50 CS lead, and they're up a ton of plates and whatnot. But the gold is remaining relatively in the same spot, despite having such a big lead like 8 minutes into the game, because YOLO keeps dying for fun everywhere, and Fat Pikachu is happily cleaning up. If this keeps happening and they don't try to take it seriously, they might actually end up losing the game.
They could end up throwing it, although I think the scaling is still on the side of YOLO. The major weak points that they've got are going to be in that Vi, because it's going to eventually get to a point where it's too squishy to keep on diving the way it is, especially if you build the Divine Sunderer build and not go the pure tank build. However, we are going to see Kenny Train very closely to dying, exceptionally close. They do manage to get away. And that is going to be this Hex Dragon now falling over to the side of YOLO. There's not a lot that we can see Fat Pikachu do to contest, even though they're aware that they're on it.
Yeah, just nothing you can really do. You have to play for picks individually. Pantheon's splitting top, Sona's shadowing, so hopefully they get top tower. And I think they're just going to try to hold mid and hope that they don't have to... YOLO should maybe just start hitting Baron and force Fat Pikachu to come walk at them so they can force the fight.
Wouldn't be the worst idea. We do see Sivir and Swain have already made it up from the bot side of the map to the top side, trying to catch out the Pantheon and Sona, but both of them are able to back because they're paying attention to their screens. Very well done on the side of Fat Pikachu, and we can see Frozen Aegis just kind of spinning in the top lane.
That is the most actions per minute a Yuumi player has ever had in the history of League of Legends.
And, you know, speaking of just hitting that Baron and letting them do, like, making them come over to it, we do see the rest of YOLO walking around the Baron, so they are aware of it being a good pressure point. Now we've got the rest of Fat Pikachu trying to clear out some wards, trying to get some vision control. Unfortunately, when you only have one or two sweepers on your side, it gets a little tricky. And then, unfortunately, we're seeing the problem of the... That is the problem of the Pantheon. Right there. That's what I was talking about. It takes way too much damage.
I can't get over this Yuumi. This is the cutest thing ever. It's so adorable. Can we zoom in on the cat? Oh man, whatever.
Zoom in on the spinning cat. I'm afraid not.
No, that's so cute. I hate Yuumi so much, but
I love the voice lines. They're so adorable.
I've actually been playing voice lines off since Season 4, so I haven't heard a champion talk since Season 4.
Really? That's an option?
Yeah, I have it turned all the way down. All I know is Twitch says I'm hiding and Timo says Hut234. That's like the extent of my knowledge.
So you haven't had to deal with the laughing Ezreals. Oh my
nope.
God.
I have not heard a champion speak in...
Those are the nightmares.
I haven't heard a champion speak in 8 years.
Well, I will say you're missing out. Look at the damage on that Yuumi Q. That is disgusting. And now we see the Pantheon get completely obliterated, not able to do anything as the Drain Tank just takes his health away. Now we got Sundubu getting ripped to shreds as well as the rest of YOLO just goes, hey, we've been playing with our food long enough. Let's show them what we're actually able to do when we're trying to fight as a 4-man.
Wow.
And they just absolutely obliterate the poor Fat Pikachu. There is nothing the little electric rat can do, and that is going to be the mid turret falling, and that's going to be the Baron gone, and that is going to be a very devastating blow to this team.
Yeah, that was not in any way, shape, or form very close. You hate to see your Pantheon get half health by a Yuumi Q. That's not a great way to start the fight. That's not the entire reason why the fight was lost, obviously, but you would really hope that Fat Pikachu had a little bit more resistance, considering they've been kind of getting kills a little bit back, but it seems like if YOLO's paying attention, it's almost damn spinning. Yeah. Okay.
It's gone. It's gone.
Oh,
it went
no.
back. The missile completely avoids every target. It just gets. It's a. Oh god, it's a split. It's a gross split.
Yeah. I don't know. It's looking pretty doomed. I don't really see an end at this point unless YOLO just decides to try to lose on purpose.
So I was right. This will probably be a sub 30-minute game. It's just not going to be a sub 30-minute game for Fat Pikachu.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it might be a sub 30-minute game for Fat Pikachu, but they might just be on the losing side of it, right?
Exactly. All righty then. So with the dismantling of the base, look at the damage that Stormblast is taking right there. That was what, 4 auto attacks?
Yeah, something like that. Chat said YOLO could FF this game, and that's true. They could just FF for fun. There's always a possibility of just a surrender coming out. That'd be kind of the peak, like Chad meme, right? Just up 10k gold FFs.
Well, yeah, and I guess it's like they haven't succeeded at the you only lose once meme, which I wanted them to do when they lost their first game. Oh, we got Kenny jumping in now on this fight in the top lane. They do manage to knock up the Darius, but the Yuumi is getting a decent amount of roots, and unfortunately Stormblast is caught in their base, and right there you see the power of a Darius as it just rips the shred, the health bar, absolutely decimating them. The Noxian Guillotine comes out and executes 3 of them, picking up the triple kill. And that is just gross, as we see here in the bot lane. Warplack and Street Smurf just dismantling this inhibitor. breaking it down. The Baron push is real. They're shoving in on the Nexus turret. Jinx is the only one left, trying to find an angle. Blackpink doing what they can, not able to find the target. Warplax doing the honorable thing and just going straight for the turrets and being like, we're just ending this game now. It is over. We are at 25 minutes and 40 seconds. That is going to be the sub 30-minute game that Fat Pikachu needed to win. They do manage to pick up the Darius, as we do see that not everybody was hitting the Nexus. Blackpink got so low. The Flash Q was the execution from the Noxian Emperor just does so much damage, and that is going to be devastating. Look at the heals coming out from this Yuumi. That is just gross. Warplack gets taken down. Frozen Aegis gets taken down. Swain gets taken down, as we see that the Nexus is still just barely alive.
All right, report Yuumi. Yuumi was dancing and not auto-attacking. Game's over if Yuumi auto-attacks. Now they have an extra 3 minutes to do stuff, which I guess they don't really care about, but like, come on guys, everybody else is watching too. Not everybody's playing. Not everybody's playing this one.
Exactly. That's the one thing that you hate to see whenever you're looking at this game. This is going to be a Drake over to the side of Fat Pikachu. It's going to be a little bit of gold, a little bit of extra damage. I don't think it's going to do too much in the long run, unfortunately. We might see a steal as Vi is going to come running in. The Smite's going to come down, though, and it's going to be an objective bounty claimed for the side of Fat Pikachu. And then we're going to see poor Vi just obliterated. You can't 3v1. If an Olaf can't 3v1, you can't 3v1. Smoke Swag looking for the back flank maybe, or maybe to just be cheeky and take everything away from them under their noses. I'm not entirely sure.
There, right?
We do have Kenny going in on this, and 5 members of Pikachu descend on the Darius, and the Darius is trying to do what they do, but does not have the damage, and that is unfortunately yet another kill.
This is the dumbest game I've watched in my entire life.
I feel like I've seen dumber, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
My brain hurts. Guys, come on, just end the game. Don't be there, Darius.
There are no TPs on the side of YOLO. Or on the side of Fat Pikachu, but not on the side of YOLO, so that means we're not going to see the TP base race.
Yeah, you know, if this is solo queue, I think everybody individually tries to sneak into the base one at a time and keeps dying for 10 minutes. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that is solo queue for you. And that is not what this is. This is supposed to be 5-mans. This is supposed to be team coordination, people. Come on, Scaling Copium.
They seem coordinated in their general apathy towards trying to end the game, which is definitely some level of coordination.
Fair. That is a level of coordination.
I like the Yuumi build. You have the Magic Pen coming out. It's going to be a strong cat. Might be top on the damage charts after Darius, to be honest.
It is doing a lot of damage right now. All right, we've got 3 in the bot lane. Are we going to actually see a push, or are we going to just see them futz around in the bot lane? They're looking for that angle. We got the Yuumi on the Smoke Swag. It's 4 in the bot lane. They're going straight in. Smoke Swag looking for that hard engage. Finds the Kenny. Kenny's getting hit with damage, and that's a lot, and their health bar is going to go down. They got the passive. There goes the Bane as Bloon takes the damage out. The Azir gets ripped to shreds, and then we got the Darius jumping in on the back line, gets complete, or doesn't manage to get obliterated. Vi is the one who got killed there. I misread that. Then we have the rest of the team moving in. Looks like they're finally ending the game before 30 minutes. We have Warplack being the only honorable one hitting the turret, then hitting the Nexus, now running into the base.
He's just in the game.
That is it. They are just now waiting right here. Aegis just bouncing around. This is supposed to be GG. This is supposed to be game over.
It's game. They have 20 seconds. Yumi's just going to dance for a while.
I feel like me saying 30 minutes is...
Maybe the inhib spawns. That'd be funny.
I don't know. I just refuse at this point. This is just no. Just all of the no. I swear. Aegis.
Oh, thank God.
You for doing the final auto attack at the last possible second. They're finally gone, and that is going to be the end of the game here, and that is going to be a Scaling Copium win over Fat Pikachu.
That game could have been 20 minutes long.
It should have been 20 minutes long.
Frozen Aegis.
I've got basically nothing to say about this. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think no one deserves MVP. I don't know. I guess Smoke Swag, but like he ran it down.
I'd say Smoke Swag deserves it for their first 5 minutes, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, can we give like the reverse MVP to somebody? Like just as a team, can we give them like a red badge of shame or something?
I feel like that's the most appropriate thing to do. With that, we're going to take a quick break, folks, and we'll be right back with an interview.
Hello folks, Chris Edgeworth here with our second interview of the night, joined this time by the bot laner from Scaling Copium. This is Warplack on the call with me. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling great. The start of the day, we obviously had to last week it was SLR and now it's like Fat Pikachu, it's like the opposite first team and then last team. So it was kind of weird. But we still prepared. I still prepared for it. I didn't want to just go in YOLO, like we do sometimes.
I mean, it's in the name. It's in the name. So, let's set the table then with the draft in this game. Interesting stuff all around. We did see return of the Swain, which we had seen last game, coming back. And then on the other side, though, there was Zir, which is pretty classic mid lane pick. And then, but I want to tie into the bot lane, which is a little less rote, which was the Jinx, Sona, on the other side into, you guys had the more normal Sivir, Yuumi. Talk to me a little bit, if you would, about your guys' thoughts and plans for this draft.
Yeah, so the idea was to basically ban 3 enchanters, and then I figured out that if we just pick one of them, we can just ban something else, which can be annoying. Mew, I see they can play that too in their VOD. So I just said fuck it, just pick Yuumi. Everybody can play that champ. So, and Sivir Yuumi is decent, but yeah, I'm not sure why they pick Sona. It's like it scales better than Yuumi, but the early game is a bit weaker. So also Jinx went longsword with fallible potion. I think that's bad. You're supposed to go 3 potions if you start longsword. That's the goal of it, to be sustainable. But yeah, we just poked them out and they couldn't sustain enough, so they always couldn't have pressure, in my opinion. But yeah, I used to play Sivir a lot, so it was great.
Was there any point in this game where you felt like you folks were threatened and that this game might be able to slip back, or at least to an even game state, if not entirely into Fat Pikachu's favor? Was there any point in the game where you felt like that?
Well, so we were winning, right? And then suddenly I see the scoreboard. It's 7 kills for us and 8 kills for them. It was super weird. And we were really ahead by 10, which got me mad because we just were trolling at this point. We were defending our side lanes, but fucking our Darius was just trolling. And yeah, I don't think they had any chance. It's just that it's just sad that we couldn't finish cleanly and earlier.
Yeah. Well, let's shift gears. Let's look forward. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I missed my mute button. But I do want to talk about YOLO as you guys, Scaling Copium, are getting ready to we're turning our way towards the playoffs. What are the feelings for YOLO going into the playoffs? How are you guys feeling about your competition?
Yeah, I think it's great because we've had the roster issue and now everything's looking like the same roster, so we can actually improve as a team instead of actually having to swap out members from now and then. So I think during the playoffs where we and I also think we have different playstyle. The last game against BBZ they forfeited, but we picked Seraphine Senna, right? And that would have been our first time playing that, but nobody got the chance to see it. And we can also play stuff Engage, Nautilus, MF, or we can let Street Smurf play Azir and be the playmaker. But this game, Street Smurf was scared to pick Sylas because he thought it was bad champ. So yeah, Street Smurf is scared of Fat Pikachu, I guess.
Apparently, no, he's just a little coward, a little baby coward. but it's okay. Worked out for you folks. You do end up with the win, and it'll be interesting to see how you folks do shape up when we do get to playoffs. Still got a game tomorrow. Still more to see. But folks, we're gonna take a break. Oh, I almost cut you off. I do want to give you the opportunity here, Warplaque, before we step away for our third game. Do you have any final thoughts, any shoutouts, any banter?
Yeah, of course. I have 4 things. So first of all, free smoke swag. Second of all, this game speak for itself. And then fishy fish defense, you know, because Yumi, ban Yumi. And then my unmatched perspicacity coupled with my sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. And yeah, Sona sucks early game. Please don't pick Sona.
All right, all of those things I can sign on to and agree with. So with no further ado, we will take a break. Game 3 coming up next.